Alright, ladies and gentlemen, just got done with my One Piece read-through, and it's time for more One Punch Man! So let's see where the story of Saitama and Genos and everyone else involved goes from here. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome to my live reaction to the newest chapter of One Punch Man. It is so random when these chapters release. They could release one after the other, or they could release months from now. That's just how random the chapters are. But let's see what today's chapter, chapter 186, brings for the story of Saitama the Strongest. Punch 186, Worth. City G, deep in the mountains. And we have that, I forget his name. He works with, he's the pupil of Atomic Samurai. I forget his name, but he's the one who had his arm cut off during the whole monster raid. Is this the only information you turned up on My Mask, aka Handsome Cayman? Everything before his debut is unknown. His inconsistent facial features suggest plastic surgery, but no medical facility has records of a procedure. Perhaps he's using a special ability. Oh, okay, this is actually interesting. Because we don't know how Amai Mask is able to do what he was able to do. Like those veins that popped up on his face. That blood rage that happened when he went up against the Norinki Special Task Force that went to go rescue his son. We don't know what Amai Mask actually is that makes him want to be at the top of A rank before people can even get to S rank.
Perhaps he's using a special ability.
That would explain his murky history. He may have lived under a different identity.
Maybe he's a Nero Hero spy? Is what you said true, EI?
Yeah, his name is EI.
That while we were unconscious during that fight, you sense a struggle of conscience within him. He could have just targeted the monster, but he wanted to kill off the hostages too. To me, he looked like a bloodthirsty killer.
Yes, I know. But above ground, he looked like a monster, struggling to have a human heart.
Evil may assume a virtuous disguise. Isn't it too soon to trust him?
We must investigate further. I did sense sincerity, and those without it often are the ones who know its worth. Then we must watch him. His changing appearance could be a sign of monsterization. When agitated, he shows signs of transformation around his face. I don't know how this will end, but I hope someday you're glad you kept your hands clean. And then it just cuts to a more ornate-looking face of Amai Mask as we are there with the rest of the pupils of Atomic Samurai. Let's not tell Master until we know for certain. Right now, he's busy with the new Holy Order of the Sword. And it cuts to Amai Mask standing with some brand new masters, because the previous masters all died in the process of fighting the different big execs for the Monsters Association during the raid. Stone, in memoriam of the successive generations of the Holy Order of the Sword. And we have new masters except for one, the dude that was blind and basically like Zaoichi. He's still there, along with Atomic Samurai, but the other two, they died. And we got two new members.
Rest in peace, Papa.
Oh, Amahare, the only black dude that was on the crew, he has a daughter, and she's assuming his position. She's kind of bad, though. I'm gonna be honest, she's kind of bad.
Rest in peace, Papa. I will slay the monsters until none are left. They will regret giving me a light coffin to bear.
Amahare's daughter, Yuta.
Yuta, Shido, I'm sorry. If only we had been stronger.
No. Father lived by the sword and died as he wished. Zanbai's son, Shido. So the children of the two masters who died, they are now assuming their parents' position. He was a bodyguard. He would rejoice more than any that you survived.
Nichirin, have you recovered?
And this is Atomic Samurai speaking to the Zatoichi guy, who had his leg taken from him, but it was replaced by a cybernetic one.
Yes, thanks to this. Any master would say the same thing. But I infuse my ki into my weapons, so they become a part of my body, whether blade or artificial limbs.
Oh, both of his legs. Both of his legs are gone. I forgot both of his legs were taken during the events of the monsters thing.
But I infuse my ki into my weapons, so they become a part of my body, whether blade or artificial limb.
And he tosses up an apple, and in an instant, he slices through the apple. Well. Yo! Okay! I thought he sliced through the apple. He didn't, but the mountain range behind the apple explodes. Excuse me? He tosses an apple in the air, and then he spins his sword multiple times. I'm thinking the apple's just gonna fall in strips. But no, the apple is untouched, and as he sheaths his sword, there's a big, giant mountainous plateau behind the apple in the distance, and it implodes from all the slashes, with the apple being untouched, falling to the ground. And both Yuta and Shido are all like,
Are you kidding? You only cut the cliff. No, I also cut the apple.
He cut the apple too. But, wait, what? I'm sorry! The swordsmanship is insane for these guys.
You only cut the cliff? No, I also cut the apple.
What? Haven't you seen that before? He cuts so fast that it leaves no apparent mark. Even the apple doesn't know it's been cut. Do you realize how quickly you have to cut? How precise your cuts have to be for you to slice through something, and then it doesn't really realize it's been cut? Like, to be cut so quickly and so precisely and so masterfully that it doesn't even leave a mark? Even the apple doesn't know it's been cut. Both Shido and Yuta are just stunned.
This a Zen riddle. I don't get it, but I like it.
Wow, that swordsmanship's like magic. That swordsmanship, like magic. I want to do that too.
I'm relieved to see you're as sharp as ever. Yes, but I heard Bang retired from being a hero. What will you do, Namikaze? You became a hero out of a desire to rival Bang.
That was before. I sense that there is something there I cannot obtain anywhere else. Besides, a hero of untold strengths remains. And he's referring to King, even though King doesn't have any powers. Whether I continue depends on his worth. And then Atomic Samurai leaves Nichirin, Shido, and Yuta.
Kamikaze has changed. He is more tolerant of others, and his vision is expanded. Perhaps he has learned the measure of strength during his time at Mr. Hodgepodge of Strong Heroes. Maybe being a hero isn't so bad.
Huh?
Goes Yuta. And then we cut to Saitama walking with Genos to the Heroes Association. And then we get Forte, who apparently built a doghouse for Pochi, and Spermatozoon, who's still trying to pose as a little monster. Like a monkey monster. I made you two a house, so be thankful.
Gee, am I supposed to live in a doghouse? Well, maybe it'll do for now.
Here's your food.
And now dog food? I gotta eat up to increase my cell count.
Huh? And Saitama and Pochi walk up. Hey, Saitama, you're back. Who's this with you? Demon Cyborg?
Demon Cyborg!
Demon Cyborg?
Demon Cyborg! He knows me!
And Spermatozoon hides behind the doghouse. Thanks for Pochi's doghouse.
Pochi?
What brings a Class S hero here? I'm Forte, Class A, rank 31. He lives next door. Oh, a neighbor. Then I must ask you to vacate. I am moving in with my things today. Thanks. He casually just telling him like, oh, your place is right next to Cy Thomas? Well, you need to move because I'm going to be moving in there. Janos! City M. I rang the bell several times, but I got no answer. Oh, then coming was a waste.
Oh, then coming was a waste.
Then coming was a waste. And then all the pupils of Atomic Samurai are just chilling out in an eatery. Nezumi Sushi. He must be out busting monsters. I wanted to test my sword against him. I'll try another time.
Yay, I haven't had sushi in ages.
Mind you, this member, the one that has like the very feminine hairstyle and the big rose marks, big red marks on his face, is a dude. It's a dude.
Yay, I haven't had sushi in ages.
Calm yourself, it's unseemly.
I'll have salmon. All right. And then they pick it up. And then someone picks it up.
Someone took it first. Here comes mayo and corn. I want that.
And then someone takes it again.
Someone took it again.
Master, here comes fatty tuna. Fatty tuna, huh? I'll grab that for. And then someone else grabs it. Hey! Master, it's probably an ordinary citizen. And they look back. And they're all shocked to see that it's King. King is sitting behind Atomic Samurai and his pupils, and apparently he's the one who's been eating all that food. Imagine finding the strongest man on Earth at a place like this. We came to find you, so hear us out. And then King is just looking at Atomic Samurai. Okay, so firstly, this was a pretty chill chapter. You mean King sort of has powers? I mean, the King engine is liable of sending fear into a whole bunch of monsters and even intimidate people. He has the power of persuasion from word of mouth. But this was actually a pretty chill chapter. We get the Atomic Samurai with the new members of the Holy Order of the Sword, the sons of Zanbai and Amahare. The son of Zanbai and the daughter of Amahare. They are now the two new members filling in the spots of their fathers. And Zaltoichi, I call him Zaltoichi, but his name is Nichiding. He's back up. He's back up and active again because he has new cybernetic legs, and he apparently has not lost a single bit of his power from his legs being gone. Because he's just as powerful. Because he not only cuts through an apple, and the apple's been cut, but it doesn't leave a visible mark. But he cuts straight through a mountain behind him! Well, straight through a mountain behind the apple while the apple is still airborne after being tossed. That's the thing. He tossed the apple in the air, and in the speed it took for the apple to submit to gravity and come back down, he sliced through an entire mountain in an instant behind the apple before it even hit the ground. And then says like, oh, I cut the apple as well, but he cut so fast that it doesn't leave a mark. See, I've seen people get cut in all sorts of, I've seen people get cut by all sorts of things in different animes and video games, but it's very rare for you to get an instance where people are cut and they don't leave a mark on them until afterwards. Brook kind of works that same way in swordsmanship as well, especially when it comes to his, Yahanata Sancho, Yahatsugiri, and the person doesn't get cut fully until he sheaths his sword. So that is the highest form of instant EI striking. But another thing, and Hollister, you're mentioning this as well, that I also want to bring up, is the EI and the members and the people who work under Atomic Samurai, not Atomic Mask, are looking into a My Mask on who and what he really is. Because there's so much about a My Mask that we don't know at this present time. Yet he's displayed capabilities that go beyond reason. Such as his inhuman strength and his face looking like it's contorting and transforming when he's under extreme anger. So they're looking into a My Mask, but what they try to find out, like records of it, are probably gone and discarded. So I honestly feel like Amai Mask is hiding something that he doesn't want anyone to know. It could be a superficial thing. It could actually be a major thing. But whatever it is, you can't dig up any history on him because all sources are gone. No records of plastic surgery or anything of that nature. So Amai Mask is probably doing a very good job keeping that bit of his history hidden from anyone else. Because EI is the most curious. EI, among the people who were there when Amai Mask was preparing to kill the members of the Narinki group, he knows firsthand that there's more to Amai Mask than what appears in social media and the public eye and everything else. He's seen it firsthand. He can also regenerate too, since Do S or Super S, if you go by from different the volumes, because the volumes have some different things that are different from the than the manga here in the web on Viz itself. Yeah, he can regenerate super fast. You might as well. Okay. Ogata. I don't know. Wait, is Ogata here? Yes, Ogata. Before I go to the One Punch Man wiki, they haven't updated it with anything early concerning the next chapter, have they? So because I don't want to look into Amai Mask and look at his capabilities and stuff if it's going to spoil something for a chapter that has already been found out. So please, before I go over there, well, before I even bring up the page itself, please let me know if they haven't updated anything, and then I can look at it. Just please let me know, because I want to look into something. I want to be sure before I give my closing thoughts on this chapter. I haven't brought up the page yet, but I just want to be doubly sure that I don't look into anything potentially spoilering, just in case. Oh, okay. Nope, you're good. No new chapter came out. Thank God. All right, so let's go over chapter 188. And let's bring up... See, he has multiple names. They call him Amai Mask. They call him Handsome Kame. They call him, okay, so right here. Anime, manga, webcomic. They give him longer hair in the anime. But here, going down to his physical capabilities and whatnot, immense speed and reflexes, immense strength, regeneration, and this is what Hostler was saying earlier. Through unknown means, Sweet Mask, his name is Sweet Mask, possesses the ability to quickly recover from extreme injuries to his body. This was first seen when Doses pierced his eye with her tongue and cracked his face, with the damage having healed almost instantaneously. After getting his torso ripped open, exposing even his intestine and having his face flattened by Fior Ugly, Sweet Mask was able to fully regenerate from all the damage over an unknown period of time. So that's another additional thing that he was able to do. He pretty much had his whole body ripped open and he regenerated from it. He's not normal. He is not normal at all. I mean, I knew that was obvious when he was capable of killing monsters with one full swoop. Kyushu, don't forget, Virgil can cut like that as well. Yeah, Virgil is capable of doing that as well. You gotta watch out for the swordsmen in different types of franchises and whatnot. Like, you got Malekith the Black Blade, you got Artorias, you got Ludwig the Holy Blade. You got all these different... Raiden, you got all these people that can use a blade, and it's just crazy how well they can use it. So, immense strength as well. Incredible brute strength. During a concert where he was confronted by 3 monsters, he was able to slice 2 of them in half with a hand chop before punching the last one with such force that its head exploded. He is also able to effortlessly lift and throw large pieces of rubble away with only one arm, as well as being able to utterly crush Dos S's head, a demon-level mysterious being, using only one hand. Furthermore, Sweet Mask is strong enough to destroy the tanks that house the monster cells with a few swipes. And of course, we have his immense speed and reflexes. Kill a group of captured aliens before the nearby S-rank, S-class heroes could react. Also effortlessly evade Supon's barrage of attacks and maneuver behind him, striking him down with only 2 blows before the caveman could retaliate. He is not normal whatsoever. And the one thing that's his weakness is extreme ugliness, which is why President Ugly was the worst possible opponent he could ever go up against. The same way like how Usopp was the worst possible opponent that Perona could go up against. Reminds you of those higher vampires from Witcher. Here's the thing, I never played the DLCs of The Witcher 3. I never played a single one of them. And I feel like I should, especially since we have like the PS5 upgrade for The Witcher 3. I never played a single one of the different DLCs for The Witcher 3, including Blood and Stone. I never played that at all. Ain't that crazy? I never played it. Even to this very day, I still haven't. But back to the story. We get the new members of the Holy Order of the Sword. The new Holy Order of the Sword. Yuta and Shiro. And then we cut to Saitama, who's telling Forte, who's built a house for both Pochi and Spermatozoon, who's still biding his time, trying to build his strength back up, because he's down to just one cell now. He's down to just one part of him now. And he's lost all of his strength after his last fight during the entire Heroes Association versus Monsters Association war that went off. So he's still biding his time, but seeing Genos there, it's going to make it harder for him to do what he wants. He's kind of similar to Zombie Man in a way. Yeah, because you can't exactly kill Zombie Man. That man regenerates from everything. That whole fight between the vampires and the other monsters, that was actually kind of a sick fight when he was like allowing himself to be mutilated over and over and over again, but he just kept coming back. Sick fight. But I forgot, speaking of Super S, did she die or no? Last thing you remember with her was her versus Fubuki. Okay, so her versus Blizzard is something that happens before the whole assault on the Monsters Association base. So her going up against Amai, in one instance, she gets taken down by a Mai Mask. And in another instance, in another version, she gets killed by a Mai Mask. And there's 2 different versions of that on the internet. I believe the one that's on Viz is the one where a Mai Mask kills her, whereas the one in the volumes, the physical volumes, is the one where she's still alive but been taken down by a Mai Mask. So there's 2 different versions of that. So did she die? Yes and no. So it depends on which one you read. But both are considered canon, so it doesn't matter which one you read. If you read one where she dies, then she's dead. If you read the one where she isn't, then she isn't. It's both still considered canon. I know it's odd due to the fact of how this series is put on the internet and into physical volumes, but both are considered canon. But it's odd, Halster. But the real big takeaway from this is that people are trying to find out more about Amai Mask. And it's really just the people who know about Amai Mask's efforts and the things he did during the whole Monsters Association fight. And then we have Genos, who just shows up to Forte and says like, oh, you're next to Master Saitama? I'm going to need you to get all your things and move out, because I'll be staying in this room. And I'm like, well, Genos, why? You can't find another room or anything? You have to be right next to, you gotta be right next to Saitama? Do you not realize how rude this is? Don't adopt Saitama's rudeness and nonchalance to other people's well-being. That teaching you don't need from him. You don't need that from him. And then we have Atomic Samurai and his crew going out to eat. I'm getting hungry myself. I might get Zaxby's again. Going out to eat, but King keeps eating all the food that they want to eat, and they get fed up, but then all of a sudden, they now suddenly want to talk to him, because apparently they are out looking for him. I almost bit my tongue. Maybe Dr. Genus has something to do with Amai Mask power. The same dude that created Zombie Man, right? You know, the dude for the House of Evolution. Maybe, because that comes to mind. That definitely does come to mind. Because Zombie Man is the peak of what... I want to say Zombie Man is the peak of what Dr. Genus wanted to do, because he essentially is immortal. He can't die, no matter what you do to him. So maybe Amai Mask is another example is another example of an experiment gone wrong. Who knows? Who knows? But all I know, well, he is Saitama's student. Doesn't excuse his behavior, though. He needs a whack for that one. Yeah, he does. He does need a whack for that one. Just don't use your hand. He's got new armor. You'll probably get a compound fracture like Otohime did earlier today, trying to hit him over the face saying like, hey, don't do that. But who knows if Forte is actually going to allow him to do that. But then again, Genos is an S-rank hero, and people of a lower rank try not to mess with the higher ranks, especially the S-rankers, too much. So I see Forte just giving way to Genos' demands and trying to find another place. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries... Well, actually, does Forte have his own place? Or does that Butterfly dude, Butterfly DX, and Chain Toad, do they all live in the same place? Because if they all live in the same place, they're going to have to find a new spot. But yeah, Genos is uncalled for that one. So I need you to leave because this allows me to be next to Saitama. I need you to leave today. First of all, I'm just now meeting you today, and I need you to leave today. So already being unreasonable. So like I said, he does not need to incorporate that nonchalance from Saitama. But overall, I enjoyed this chapter. But now it sets in my mind, not only are we finding out more and more about the shadiness of the Heroes Association, but we're also possibly going to be delving in. Those three live right next to each other? Okay, so they don't live in the same place. They don't live in the same place. But I would imagine that Forte is probably going to try and bunk with either Butterfly DX or Chain Toad. Part of me thinks that he's probably going to choose Chain Toad over Butterfly DX though. But what I gathered from this is that, 1, we have a new Holy Order of the Sword. 2, Atomic Samurai's group and his pupils. He doesn't know that they're researching into a Mai Mask because he doesn't know about the events that transpired. They're researching and trying to find out more information about what or who a Mai Mask actually is, his history, and why he did what he did, and just who is he as an individual. And now we have Genos, who's going to be moving in with Saitama. So yeah. That's the thing that's happening in the story of One Punch Man right now. And Spermatozoon is still trying to bide his time and regain his strength so he can, get strong all over again. But he's kind of put at ends because now Genos is going to be there with Saitama, which is going to make him trying to sneak around even harder. Because an S-ranker, something he fears, is going to be around all the time. So there's that. So there's quite a few things happening, though not to the monstrous degree of, hero gambling, or finding out that Neo Heroes is trying to be the new Heroes Association, but not repeating any of their mistakes. Who knows how long it's going to be before we cut back to, Child Emperor finding out. More important, we got a beautiful new character introduced. Yes, isn't Yuta a beautiful character? Like really beautiful. This series knows, they really do know how to, and Yusuke Murata really knows how to make some beautiful looking art, because we need more dark skinned women in manga, because I've never seen one that looks bad in any series that I've watched. I've never seen one that looks bad. They all look great. And I mean, once you get started with Yoruichi from Bleach, it's only uphill from there. So, but it's good. It's good. I'm done. This was a good chapter. This was a nice, solid chapter. This was a bit of a chill chapter. It had that one moment with a Nichirin cutting apart a mountain, just so casually. And they're like, oh, I cut the apple too. It just doesn't know it's been cut. I'm sorry, what? But overall, this was a good chapter. I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed me reacting to it for all of you. And the voices that go along with it, because y'all know I love doing voices. I really do. And I hope it was entertaining for all of you. All I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then please, because it helps the channel in the long run, like, subscribe, and share the stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples! Great streaming, great discussion, that's what I aim for.